Okay, we're back with more SMT4. We should finish today, I think. According to how long to beat anyway, we're on track for it. See how it goes. I can't tell if the DLC has saved me time net or cost me time in the fusion menu. See how much of this I can skip since we did this last week. I just had to stop mid-boss fight.
No one is around.
I was weak to wind, resistant to gun was the note I left myself last episode. Try to work around that.
What?
Yes. All right. Also, he uses physical attacks, so I can use Tetrakarn. Never found out if he uses magic, I don't think.
Most unlucky for you.
Nice. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of wind here. The Tetrakarns are going to be more than enough here.
The battle is turning me on. I was afraid this would happen. I told you so. There's no rush like fighting. You're getting worked up too, huh?
So far I've gotten pretty good for ignoring him, so we'll just keep doing that. If I die here, I'm gonna have to bring in more demons with Zomdai, and I used to have it on basically everybody. It's nice though, I can keep doing a ton of damage just with Tetrakarn at least. I guess I could see if he's weak to other elements. I've already cast Tetrakarn, so if I fail here... Okay, well, answers that question. Not everybody has Agidine, though. Two of them do.
Take that!
Seems like really bad damage for... something it's supposed to be weak to. Maybe it just has really high stats or something. Chernabog can also do Tetrakarn, I think. Yeah, okay.
Stop it. Just stop it. I don't want to fight anymore. I finally rebuilt Tokyo. You humans. What do you want now?
Oops. Actually, I pressed the D-pad and dismissed that. If enemies weak to something in this game, are they just like... Oh, I asked this. Are they globally weak to it?
I hope you're prepared.
Like, can they be more weak to fire than they are to wind, or will they take the same damage from both no matter what? Oh, that was fun. Okay, these are some new attacks. Every status effect that exists. Cool. Now I just die, basically.
How's this?
Amazing.
Most unlucky for you.
I think I have at least one monster that resists everything, but... Video games.
I hope you're prepared.
Okay, I might get a turn, maybe? Okay. Okay, I already did a concentrate here. Do I want to try to do this? I guess I'll get another chance to cast Medea Rahan here in a second.
Oh, I lost.
Wow. I was very close to losing there. Get the remote. Why would they even tell me? I just do it out of combat, right? I feel like this is like the battle text where I'm just ignoring him. I think we just want to ignore him as much as possible. Okay.
Not forward.
Okay, so I'm not actually done. Gotcha.
Feigning death? Can you call yourself the king of Tokyo?
So what would have happened if I had grabbed it?
Such preposterous lust for battle.
These abilities decreased. Alright, let me recast Tetrakarn here.
Most unlucky for you.
Summon people who are immune to dark, apparently. Okay, let's see. Null dark. And null status effects. Perfect. And she has Medea Rama. What do we got in stat ups? Cast Tetrakarn. He probably needs doping to not die immediately, though. Nice block. Not so nice. Apparently not casting.
I'll end it thus.
Physical attacks anymore? There he goes. Okay, I think you repel. Do I have anyone else that's immune to dark? Resist dark. Doesn't have any status effect resistant though. Not dark. Does have wind though. Alright. Swap these out of MP. Just gun. Does have Zondyne and Tetrakarn. He's lower level though. A lot of dudes with resist dark, coincidentally. Recast doping with him. Basically just want someone to be a Tetrakarn stick here. Akarakarn doesn't work on Almighty, right? She is Amrita too, I should probably be using that.
Take
Okay.
that! How's this?
God, I really need to spend all that money to get the relics that make you immune to status effects. They're really expensive, if I recall correctly. Looks like he won't do physical attacks anymore for whatever reason, annoyingly.
Take that!
So, if you're like asleep, do you have a chance to wake up every time you take a turn? Of course that time he did. Oh, but he died to the repel. Okay, cool. That was nuts.
Prophecy was true. Do you know what Yamato really is? Damn those white.
Okay, that was nuts. I don't think I deserved to win that one.
Congratulations on
Seems like it's
completing the
correct to
quest.
just always ignore every enemy in every battle. I've never had downsides for ignoring shit. Maybe if you like pick the right options, you can get stat bonuses or something. I'm surprised they even give you the option to say no.
Here we are. I'm pushing the button now. Any objections?
Nope.
Hold. I feel it may be bad luck for you to press it. Let's give it to him.
What? But why? Oh, very well. Here.
Press the button. How you been, Charles? I see.
Your atom has brushed against two possible worlds. You have touched the possible world one chooses to preserve. And the possible world where one chooses to fight the stillness.
That's interesting.
You have sensed it. Even if you elect to preserve the world, if it does not align with God's will, it will be cast into destruction.
I like that.
Even if you choose not to preserve the world, it will lead inexorably down a path of self-destruction.
Humans are but prisoners of God's expectations. But we know a way to escape God's grasp. Yes, we will simply turn all to nothing to begin with.
Because we lack forms, we entrust the choice to you who have shape.
I always hate that shit.
Release all of humanity from God's
Everything sucks, so
control
we should just destroy
and
everything
become the
instead of
true
trying.
Messiah.
Now, Messiah, the time of fate. The power is in your hands to save every being in every world. Will you turn the world to naught with your hands as the Messiah?
No, that seems stupid. It's like one of the weakest possible, like, villain motivations. Oh, I saw how humanity sucks, so turn it off, I guess.
No.
Like, it's not nihilist enough, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, humanity sucks, but Earth is insignificant. Who cares?
This world intact. Do you intend to preserve the current status quo? Are you going to destroy the order of things?
Fuck the status quo, although I still disagree with Walter on almost everything. That's just how much I hate the status quo.
You are too late to walk that path. You have committed too deeply to preserving the status quo.
Oh, is this, did it check my event
Why do
flags
you
or something?
oppose us? Will even you place your hopes in the possibility of a future?
It's kind of annoying. I feel like I've really gone hard
Even
on
after we have shown you
siding with
many
Walter.
times there is no future for the human race. You are no longer of use to us. May you regret your choice here in this fabricated space until you die.
I had too many status quo points. I guess the blasted world was less shitty? I don't know. It's pretty annoying. I wonder where most of them came from.
Is that you there? Oh, thank heavens. I thought you were but a vision.
I do really like
To
that
think
as
that
the
we would meet
conflict.
in this strange
The
place.
status quo versus revolution,
The
and
White
like
asked me whether I would bring
interrogating
the world
the
to
challenges
naught.
of revolution.
I told them I would rather preserve the status quo. It seems the White intend to keep us prisoner here, but I'm relieved to be reunited with you.
Warriors of light.
Deciding
the
with Walter
Lord's
earlier
chosen
just give you
ones.
like 2 points
You
or
have done
something.
well in repelling
Seems
the
pretty
despair
huge.
Of the White and beginning to walk on your own.
I feel like there just shouldn't have been
I
any
have
points
come
for
to
this.
collect
This should have
you.
just been
Our Lord requires your strength.
just have it be that one choice, like Mass Effect 3
Gabriel.
style, right?
This is the Expanse, a world created by the thoughts of men. The White are also an aggregation of thoughts. They are a portion of this space. Because you rejected the White, their power is weakened now. You must slay the Whites. Do so, and you will be able to escape from the Expanse. The White number 4. They are lurking somewhere within this forest. Slay all of the White so that
But
you
not
may
enough,
return
apparently,
to your
based on
world of
random other
origin
decisions.
and save mankind. That is your task as the Warriors of Light.
I'll register that as a new quest on the list.
Curious, the game doesn't tell you the math in any way, right? Like, you can't see how many points you have anywhere.
Allow me to heal your wounds.
Slay the White in the forest. Okay.
If you ever become wounded in battle, return here to the forest's entrance.
Cool.
I shall heal your wounds at any time.
I love the way that they just shut you down when you pick the option you want, and they're like, actually, no,
We'll
sorry.
escape this
We're going to
world,
do the
come
other
what
one,
may.
despite what you just said.
Now, let us begin.
You get cryptic info about your score in the taverns. Let's
Burroughs.
see. Oh. So it's super interesting because I really like the I like the conflict. I think it's a good conflict. I think it's generally pretty well handled in the game and the story and stuff. And usually I would hate something like Mass Effect 3's arbitrary pick one of the colors endings where it has nothing to do with your choices to that point. But I increasingly feel like choices in games are dumb and end up degenerating to a Mass Effect 3 style choose the color anyway. So I think this game would have been better served by not having a point system and just letting you choose there, you know? Especially since you don't have any way of knowing like which one you're selecting when... Like, what do the developers think is law versus chaos, right, is the problem. And Mass Effect at least shows you the color, right? Exactly. Shit. Hell no. I feel like points only make sense too if there's like lots of different things that could happen. If there were like 6 different endings based on choices and different decisions gave you points in different categories, that'd be one thing. But if there's only 2, that feels extra silly.
I will aid you.
There's a neutral outcome that you can't get if you have a perfectly neutral alignment score going into that choice. Is neutral just you make both of the choices roughly equally, or is like what's the tolerance for neutral? Is neutral the like true ending then? I don't know how I feel about neutral even existing in this game from like the game's own story philosophy perspective. Like it seems like they're trying to get at like you have to pick one and they both suck. It's kind of like how with time I kind of hate the fact that you can do all the loyalty missions in Mass Effect 2 instead of being forced to pick. Neutral is you do both. What makes a man turn neutral? Lust for gold? Be really interested to know what the math is like under the hood. Like how many points you get for random dialogue options in the game, how many points you get for siding with Walter or Jonathan earlier, how many points you get for that choice they gave you there, what the tolerances are. A lot of the choices don't have a neutral option. The points you gain or lose from each one is hidden from you.
Very well.
So it's like the essence of walkthrough bait, I guess. Oh yeah, this guy again. I probably shouldn't have let him transform.
Very well.
Already had him.
I hope you're prepared.
I wonder what percentage of players accidentally stumble into a neutral ending, I guess is my question. Or if it's entirely people who are following a guide and know exactly what to select to make sure they get it.
My demons are a bit different.
The Lord be...
Thank you.
Burrows.
The white feel like they're just like the embodiment of nihilism, basically. Choose the first option of every single dialogue branch, side with Jonathan, and then destroy the status quo. You end up neutral.
Master,
Is the first option always the law option, or just coincidentally works out that that's a shortcut to do it without having to follow a walkthrough too closely?
Out of the way!
That's funny. Do you not get morality choices from side quests? Is that assuming like 100%ing all the side quests or something?
Master.
Trying to get all the door markers unlocked here while I look for these demons. Make sure I save. Side quests affect alignment too. Thank you. Best decision I ever made.
I hope you're prepared!
I like the chained humanoid crocodile looking thing. That's pretty cool looking. Tempted to do a little bit more fusing, but it's also laborious and I don't have the money for it. I guess I can't get money anymore, right? Because I have no way to sell items and the only way to get money is through selling things. And now that I have most of these maps unlocked, I think we never want to go down a path that I've already been down, because that means it's taken me somewhere that which wondering requires a lot of side quests completed. Like, specific side quests are part of the flags, or is it just you need to do those side quests in order to get the math to be just right?
Burrows.
He's far enough from a level up that I can probably afford to use that on him.
I will aid you.
I don't hate this game. Like, I think it has really cool story ideas. It's a really neat take on the morality system that's different from a lot of other games I've seen. And it's a lot less willing to, like, fall definitively on one side or the other as, like, the right thing to do, which is neat. But it also does a lot of things that I find profoundly puzzling. I think it's helpful to play it because it's another game that's useful as a point of comparison against other games. I'm sure most of y'all don't see that Gloomhaven channel that Serp opened in Discord the other day, but I was trying to figure out, like, why does a game like Gloomhaven, which is also a turn-based RPG that is fundamentally unfair toward the player, feel good to play, but this game feels frustrating to play? When they have that in common with each other. And a realization I had is that I think it's really hard for turn-based games to, like, thread the needle in such a way and to turn their dials in such a way that they feel perfectly in the center of not being trivially optimizable while not being riddled with, like, random bullshit that you have no control over, right? where you're able to make decisions based on like general vibes. You kind of feel what the right move is. I guess occasionally you'll in this game you'll go up against an enemy where they look like they're a fire elemental, and you'll guess maybe I should use Bufu, and that's like the closest you get to being able to make a vibes-based decision. But it's harmed by the series constantly changing up the weaknesses and stuff. It feels like I might die here. Let's see. Like in this game, when you go in and you have to guess at what's going to happen, like the consequences for failure are extremely high. If you make the wrong decision, you lose your entire turn and you game over immediately.
Such is a samurai
Great.
skill.
And the actual choice that you're making isn't like strategically complex. It's not, oh, do I want to move to that tile, or do I want to use this card or that card, or do I want to activate that ability or this ability? It's literally just, do I play rock, paper, or scissors? And then when you find out, oh, it's immune to scissors, I should reload and do it again with rock. Like, I think that's less interesting, you know? It's something that I desperately want to understand, because I feel this dissonance that there's a lot of things I complain about Shin Megami Tensei, and I can point to other games that theoretically have a comparable thing going on, but they don't bother me as much. And I have to do the Principal Skinner thing. I'm like, you know, am I the one who's wrong, or is it the children?
Out of the way!
I think it probably comes down to a brain chemistry thing of the way I like to enjoy certain kinds of games. Gloomhaven isn't the only turn-based RPG I've played that is in that like perfect sweet spot of pretty much depending on vibes for decision making. Like another one I can think of is Slay the Spire. You can technically be like such a math wizard that you can know exactly the percentage chance of drawing every card in a game like Slay the Spire. So you can make a really informed, optimized decision every time the game gives you a choice between cards to draft. But the majority of players aren't savants like that, and so have to make the decision based on vibes and just kind of general expertise with the game. And then they won't know if their decision, you know, was correct or incorrect for another 20 minutes or so.
Out of the way!
You need to score between -8 and 8 for neutral. And the final choice forces you to take either +10 or -10. Someone with a score of 0 going into that choice is locked out of the neutral ending, but someone with a score of 18 isn't. That seems so deliberate. It seems like that's on purpose. Like, someone didn't just pick the number 8 and -8 out of the hat, right? Like, and then 10 and -10 at the end. Why?
Master.
Oh, it's so much worse when it seems like they did it completely on purpose and the intent is like utterly outside of my ability to divine, right? I can't. I get it when it's like, oh, okay, like it's grindy like this because you're playing it on the train once a week.
Hope you're prepared!
And this is supposed to be like a game that you buy and play for 400 hours on the train every day for the next 4 years, right? Okay, I get it. I don't like it very much, but I get it at least. What the fuck? I guess maybe it's like you're going to play through the game so many times and loop through New Game Plus so many times that you need to have the neutral ending as like a potential surprise. Because you're definitely going to get the law ending and the chaos ending. But for it to be so specific, that has to assume that you're going to Google it, right? Like, after you beat it, you're going to have to, like, read a walkthrough or read the wiki or something. It doesn't seem that a normal player is intended to discover that. Or is considered one of the mechanically weakest games in the series. I see. A limited number of paths I haven't gone down now. Let me save again.
My demons are a bit different.
I kind of meta enjoy games like this that are troubling for me mechanically, because it's interesting to me that almost every video game that I think is fucked up, or that I don't particularly enjoy some of its decisions, is fucked up for like completely different reasons. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to encounter the specific fucked up nightmare product that is Final Fantasy 13 in any other game, even in its own sequels, I'm betting. A list of alignment choices perfect to the game, using trial and error with an NPC to narrow down the possible range of your current score. And then mapping out a sequence of choices that would place you at -8 and 8 at any value in that range. I feel like, I feel like I've played a game where I had to do something like that. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 13's crafting, right? I had to do that. I had to keep reloading the game every time to see if I was 1 point away from getting the max weapon or not. Jesus Christ. I do not mind games that intentionally obfuscate their math. I don't think every game needs to have a law and chaos number on the menu screen, right? In fact, I think this game, it would be counter to SMT4's philosophy to do that. It shouldn't do that. But at the same time, don't make mechanics that only make sense if there is such a displayed value, right? What the fuck?
My demons are a bit different.
Always a neutral ending. Okay, so if you're a fan of the series, you know to expect it, basically.
Burrows.
So therefore it must be this. Yeah, I got you. That's scream-worthy. I'm like, maybe that's ultimately the trick they're pulling, is that
my demons are a bit different.
I'm completely fine with them wanting you to feel disoriented by it. Like, SMT feels like it's like a horror RPG, which is cool because there's not a lot of that out there. I guess what Parasite Eve. So horror is a genre where you want to obfuscate things as much as possible, and you want to like frustrate the player and be unfair and stuff. I was thinking about doing something. App points, right. Probably don't need any of this. Guess I gotta expand stock, but... Is skill augment? Like, what does that do exactly? They already do mutate. Does that just increase the rate at which they mutate? Very... Not very descriptive. I think I've been in every possible door now, which is alarming. Bottom one just resets me.
The Lord be with you.
Must be missing like an interactable on one of these screens or something. I've been in every possible path as far as I can tell. Gotcha.
Master.
Right, she says she's detecting a demon on this screen somewhere, so I guess it could be behind there because I never broke that wall. Let me try to hit that.
Out of the way! Out of the way!
It's like this game is simultaneously an obtuse horror adjacent game. Like I'd say Dark Souls is also obtuse and horror adjacent, right? It simultaneously wants to be that. I did not expect that door to take me back here. But it also wants to be like crunchy and math oriented and I guess solved? I don't know what word I would use. It's not really solved, I guess, but and I guess maybe the real horror is the feeling that there's dissonance between those two things. And it makes me uncomfortable, and so maybe the game is doing its art on me really well, and I'm complaining about the art. I guess I have similar complaints about similar scenarios in the Souls games, right? Like, I like the Souls games a lot. I like that they're obtuse and weird and, like, off-putting. But I have problems with the questing system, where the questing system is clearly intended to be engaged with. Like, there's all this content and often bosses that are locked behind them. But the game goes so far out of the way to not help you find any of the quests that they effectively become wiki bait. That you're on New Game Plus 3, and now you need to know that you can talk to Gerald the Hobbled or whoever the fuck. But only in this narrow window between beating these two bosses. Like, I think that... Oh, here we go. That's what we need.
Out of the way!
That's a situation where the two things are working against each other. They want it to be obtuse, they want you to do the quests, and as a result it just means, okay, I guess you have to pull up the wiki to play this game now, right? It sucks because I agree with their fundamental choice to not have a traditional, like, quest log and an objective marker and whatever, but it sucks that that content is almost impossible to be encountered by a sight-reading player.
Our fifth son, who chose preservation. If you will not willingly choose nothingness, then I will unmake you.
Okay, cool. Well, as usual, I have no idea what I'm doing, so... Experiment after casting Tetrakarn and Makarakarn, I guess. Fire? No. Thanks, Jonathan, for helping me experiment. Wind? No. I checked all these. Lightning? Okay. Just fight it, gotcha.
I see an opening!
Okay. It's null ice. Null ice and null light. Okay. Return, bruh. Huracan seems more important to cast. Bumping his defense, I guess, too.
Such is a samurai skill!
Well, I don't want to waste the smirk, so I guess I'll go ahead and Fufu dine him.
Not enough!
Ow. Instant kill activated, okay. Is that an instant kill that had, like, nothing to do with element, then? Also, is this ice and light? Hey, that wasn't so bad.
God's plan has ever led to our ruin. You will surely follow the same path.
It's barely more XP than a regular fight. Heaven's Bow. No thanks. 80s Blast. No thanks.
Looks like the quest is going well.
Still talking about that. Cinematic versus the only game for Christmas. Go on, I think I get where you're going, or where you're coming from. I like the only game for Christmas as a
Burrows.
as a game design objective, I guess. I guess I'd use the word platform to describe that. As a gaming platform, you're just gonna play this one game and nothing else. You apply that to a bunch of live service games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV and Destiny. Some worse on it than others. Like, I've heard the whole Yoshi P line about Final Fantasy XIV that he wants people to just sign in during the expansion, play it, and then deactivate their sub, which I respect the shit out of that. I think that's great. Awakening. No.
Oh.
But then you have a game like Destiny 2 where the math of the game is explicitly built around assuming that this is the only game you have time for in your life. Otherwise, none of it makes any sense.
The Lord be...
Pokemon's not a mastery game, but it's designed to allow or push you to play it a lot. Yeah. I'm with you.
I will aid you.
I'm very open to the idea that my stream format, which is about seeing games as a piece of art to be consumed and then moved on from, right? It certainly corrupts my view of a lot of kinds of games that aren't intended to be played that way. I guess, like, there aren't very many movies that are designed to be watched over and over, right? Or a lot of books that are designed to be read over and over. Sometimes you watch a movie multiple times or you read a book multiple times because you really like it, but there isn't baked into the experience of enjoying the media that this will be the only media you consume. You know what I mean? Or this will be the only art you consume. Sure.
Master.
Asks you to spend a lot of time to get into its systems for a game that also asks you to start over 4 times.
I hope you're prepared.
I think the seasonal format of something like Path of Exile isn't rotten to the core, though, because I've enjoyed playing multiple seasons of, like, Diablo 3 and focusing on a different class every time, and then, you know, playing the season for a little bit of time, you know, not devoting my entire life to it, but getting, like, a solid 40 hours out of it, and then tapping out greater rifts and say, okay, that was fun, I'm done. And then I can take lessons that I learned from previous seasons to future seasons and say, oh, next time I'll be able to level faster now because I know that I can skip this area, or I know I can use this during the leveling process to clear this zone more quickly or whatever. That's fine. It's a neat way to make mastery relevant and still make you feel like you get to do the whole thing over.
Out of the way! Burrows.
Yeah, the 40-hour mark is where you get started in Path of Exile. Right? Alright, so they said there's an enemy here. So is it behind, like, a wall or something? Oh, I think I see it now, maybe.
My demons are a bit different.
No. It was not. This thing. I somehow completely walked past before.
Our fifth son, who chose preservation. Your actions
Didn't really
are
choose preservation, but
abominable.
whatever.
No matter how much you struggle, your despair will never be healed. Very well. As your forebear, I will teach you the splendor of non-existence.
Sure. Probably need to top everyone's MP before fighting this guy. Alright, let's try guessing elements here. Okay.
Not enough.
Don't think that means that he's guaranteed to resist it, though. Just called white. I feel like there are two main ways to make content in, well, I guess there's three ways to make content in a platform game or an only game for Christmas game, right? Like, one is to just have the game be fucking huge, which seems to be like the Dragon Quest XI solution. The game's just really big. It's not like bloated with like grinding or anything like that. There's just legitimately a lot to do before you finish it. Another one is to pad it to like artificially stretch the game. This guy physically attacked me a second ago. Which feels like what a lot of games like this are doing, that they're making mechanical decisions that aren't good game decisions. They're not good game design, but they're there to make it take longer or to make the player get more like hour per hour value out of it, right? And I guess that cancels out in my brain when games will do that. If I sense that something has been stretched, this is coming from someone who clicks rocks for hundreds of hours in RuneScape. If I start to detect that stretching, I don't know, I become less interested in it. And the third way is the like openly predatory, like Destiny 2, Fortnite, Battle Pass shit. And I guess a game can do all three of those, right? WoW is simultaneously a game that has an enormous amount of content and has predatory shit in it and has arbitrarily stretching shit in it, right? And I think I can like and dislike all of those things independent from one another. Does Tetrakarn not reflect? Maybe I didn't have Tetrakarn up. I was gonna ask if it doesn't reflect gun attacks. So we gotta use Tetrakarn more here, I guess. Oh, fuck. This defaults to replacing someone that's already on my board, I guess. Oops. She was almost out of MP anyway. It does? Okay. Thanks. So it does. I want to burn Smirk and Concentrate, so... Alright.
Why will you not attempt to release mankind, trapped as they are in God's plan? Your obeisance, it is beyond redemption.
Agree.
Looks like the...
So, like, to be fair to Shin Megami Tensei, I don't think that the things I dislike in this game are predatory. I think that the stuff that they do to make this playable over a much longer period of time, i.e. every day on the train for 3 years or whatever, doesn't take the form of, ooh, we're going to do something that's going to extract more money out of you, because the game at the end of the day is a buy it and own it
Master.
experience, aside from the kind of predatory DLC. And I recognize that making a fucking giant game like Dragon Quest XI is like very expensive. You can't just like do that for free. It's much cheaper to make the XP curve weird or obfuscate the alignment system or do other weird things that encourage multiple playthroughs. Make Fusion
Burrows.
ridiculously expensive from a Maka perspective. Like, that doesn't require any extra content, any extra assets. And I do not condemn game developers for trying to reuse the assets they do have in clever ways. Like, I know that
My
there
humans
were
are
people
a bit different.
complaining about that in Elden Ring, and it's like, this game would not be anywhere near as apparently huge as it is if it didn't do that, right? It's actually kind of a masterclass in doing that well, I think. It's probably true. I'm guessing Monster Hunter is... hold on 1 second.
The Lord be with you.
I was about to say, I think Monster Hunter is a platform game slash only game for Christmas game. And that might be part of what irks me about a lot of Monster Hunter's design decisions, is that it's not intended to, you're supposed to like fuck around in it for a long time. And I guess it kind of does that by having a lot of content. Like, there's a lot of monsters to fight that make it from game to game. Yeah. This is helpful. It's taken me 8 years of streaming to, like, work with all y'all to try to articulate why games like that are... I don't like them. I always feel bad saying I don't like this, but there's lots of features to it that are in common with games that I do like. Am I just a hypocrite? I mean, yes, I am also just a hypocrite, but also something else going on. Right. Monster Hunter World experimented with predatory live service game trying shit, and they scaled it back. That's good to hear.
Burrows.
World seemed like a game that I might be able to get into. I had a, unfortunately, really bad experience with it around launch time that turned me off from wanting to try it again. I think human beings are really good at intuition and feeling things. And in your heart of hearts, understanding those feelings really well. And we are really bad, on average, at actually communicating what we're really feeling to other people. Now it's prime time again. Crap. think she said the monster was in. Here we go.
Our fifth son, who chose preservation.
Stop rubbing it in, the who
Still
chose
do
preservation
not
shit.
understand? Your will, which rejects our salvation, is the cause of your suffering. We will eliminate that will in preparation for the coming of a new Messiah.
Okay. Karn and Tetrakarn, maybe?
I see an opening!
Maybe they all have no elemental weakness.
Such is a
Still miss
samurai skill!
concept. So much damage when you do that, good god. Jesus Christ. It's just like really high evasion or something, maybe. Completely insane.
Not enough!
Nice. Keep getting smirk and concentrate simultaneously, so that's cool. Surprised I didn't do it. Alright.
Even if you do accept God's plan, it will not last for eternity. Eventually, those with free will who reject God's plan shall arise, and then...
Looks like the quest is going well.
One more. I don't know where it is. Trying to track it down here. Bottom area, maybe? I think she warns you every time. This
Master.
side, okay. Right there. I don't have enough mana to fight it, though.
I will aid you!
See if I can get away with running around a little bit here. Let's try to run near the zone boundary, maybe? think there's a limit to the number of enemies that can be spawned in the distance, maybe. Somewhere where they can't reach me, I can continue to run around and get mana back.
Burrows.
Here. A little bit more for Cherub. Really worried I was going to get right there. Save. Let's try fighting this guy.
Our fifth son, who chose preservation. It is our fate to endlessly repeat the same mistakes. Given this, what other salvation can there be than returning everything to naught? Your choice is wrong. We will prove that to you. Look at my form. It is the image of your friend Issachar, who was torn asunder in the ring.
I remember this guy from a really long time ago.
By your own hand. The most proper course of action regarding this world that killed him. I will demonstrate it to you using this form.
End it all. Just in case.
Not enough.
Yes, keep doing that. That's great. Petricarn for sure.
See an opening.
Getting all these smirk plus concentrates.
All those lands, that blasted world, tainted with poison. Those who depended on God were callously killed by him. Has the possibility that you too may also be smoked by God not crossed your mind?
Continue fighting. Don't respond. Don't talk to strangers.
Such is a samurai skill.
They all have like ridiculously high luster candy. They'll have ridiculously high evasion stats by default for whatever reason.
see an opening!
One who desires preservation. What would your fellow Samurai think? I refer to he who dreamt of changing this world, who is not here now. The one called Walter. Does it not give you pause to think what he might say?
Yes, it does, but continue fighting. It's almost always still worth just casting Concentrate here.
Not enough!
Alright, so if he ever is able to land a hit, it's going to be really bad, what we're saying here. Sure, I get some resistance to light and dark. I think light and dark ignores Makara Karn as well. Of course it missed. Okay, yeah.
Where is our salvation?
Why wouldn't you save me even unto the very end?
I like them removing the effect there. Wonder if that changes based on who you do last every time.
Congratulations on completing the quest.
Warriors chosen by God. No. Do not want that.
I understand better now after fighting them. I sensed no hostility from them.
They're just, you know,
They must
optimistic
truly
nihilists.
believe, without the slightest doubt, that nothingness is the only salvation. If this discord arises from us both holding to our own choices, which cannot coexist, then there is only one thing for us to do.
You have done well to drive out the white, blessed warriors of light.
This scene seems like it might be more important, so if you're watching in the future on YouTube, I'm currently having really bad stream degradation problems. I'm going to try to pause here and sit for a second to see if it repairs itself. Hey, if you're watching in the future on YouTube, I'm having really bad internet issues or Twitch issues or something, so I'm going to finish this next week. It should cut to the cutscene we were just watching in about 1 second from your perspective, so I guess you probably don't care. See you in a week. Okay, It's a week later since we had stream issues last week. Hopefully I'm actually gonna be able to finish the game today, and it looks like the 3DS did remember where we were, so let's go ahead and resume. We just fought the 4 white enemies.
Their control over the Expanse seems to have dissipated for the time being. I can now use my own power to return you to your world of origin. Let us go. Together we shall become shepherds of the lost flock.
We must take care not to repeat the tragedies of Kiyoharu and Kenji. Let's return to your world and mine.
Still kind of annoyed that I got stuck with the law ending, but whatever.
Where are we?
Really do like the design of the
This is what
angels.
was once Shin Duke. It is now the eye that watches over the eastern kingdom of Mikado, the new Mikado Castle.
We have purified every last filth in the eastern kingdom of Mikado.
But in Tokyo, the gate to the Expanse was opened with Tayama's death. Order there has been lost. We have sealed Naraku.
But the filth will once again head for Naraku, just as they did in days of old.
Blessed warriors of light, we require your assistance. We have decided to annihilate Tokyo.
Okay.
Annihilate it?
It is infested with demons. They are possessed by knowledge and have lost sight of what must be done. There is no other way if we are to purify them and sever the roots of the filth. These are the wishes of the Lord. If the Yamato reactor is allowed to run amok, Great Abaddon, a black hole, will be created. Our plan is to have Great Abaddon swallow up Tokyo.
However, we have heard troubling news that the demon Lord Lucifer has resurrected in Tokyo.
Oh, cool. Do you fight God if you're on
He
the
will
chaos
surely
ending?
stand in our way. We must devise a plan to deal with him.
If we archangels, the heralds of the Lord, were to fuse with the Son of Man that he has chosen, it would bring forth the power of God's chariot, which exceeds that of the demon lord.
God's chariot.
But to fuse with us is akin to facing death for one of your kind.
Who will serve as the blessed martyr? Will it be you, Jonathan, or you? We will remain here in anticipation of your choice.
Interesting.
To fuse with them, it would mean death. Tell me, what are your...
Hey, Serp, how you doing?
My apologies. I simply feel so defeated. That day we went to the rooftop of Mikado Castle. I vowed then that I would fulfill my role as a samurai for the sake of the people. Yet now that the specter of death has been raised before me, I...
Cool, man, I can do it.
Are you going?
We have been waiting for you, blessed warriors of light. Which of you will fuse with us and enter martyrdom?
Yeah, I'll do it.
No, not you. I'll be our martyr.
Okay.
I have ever been at a loss. Both humans and demons speak only of themselves whenever they open their mouths. If only people would think and act for the sake of their fellow man. Just imagine it. What is preventing them from doing so? Why can they not shed a tear for the plight of others? Are humans creatures which cannot band together as one? Are they creatures not worth salvation?
Right.
But now, I understand what I must do. I am one of those people. I am at a loss, racked with anxiety. That is why I will sacrifice everything to drive out everyone's fear and doubt. I do this
Yeah,
to
I like
forge
the
a
angel
new
design.
world, one where today's peace lasts unto eternity. I am honored to have traveled by your side. Thank you.
Now, Jonathan, come here.
Interesting. Yeah.
I am the Lord's chariot, the Seraph Merkaba. Filth or doubts must be cleansed from this world. Now, warrior of light.
Cool that it layers all their voices.
Armageddon between his eastern kingdom of Mikado and the unclean Tokyo begins. Let us depart together.
So do you like
Destination is the Yamato
team up with
Perpetual
Lucifer
Reactor.
if you go on the other route?
I'll register that as a new quest
The game
on the
lets you
list.
go on the other route, I'll say. You're in the Yamato reactor. Obliterate Tokyo.
Let me explain.
Your quest can't be completed anymore. Oops, whatever. Oh, they don't give you the choice in this one, though. You're just kind of hosed. I made every
This is the new terminal.
chaos choice I
What do you wanna
could,
do, Master?
and then it put me in the law ending, because I guess there are a bunch of other random events that put me towards law. I have no idea where I'm going. Let me check really quick. Journey to the Yamato reactor. Okay, I don't remember where that is, so...
This is the new terminal. What do you want to do, Master?
When it became clear what was going on, I, did the big thing where I sided with Walter, when it gave me the opportunity, which felt like it should be a massive chaos choice. And then I did, several chaos things in a row after that, including saying, I want to do the chaos thing, which I guess is only worth, a few chaos points, and then it dumped me into this ending. They literally said, sorry, you don't have enough morality points to do that, and then didn't let me do it.
Activating.
There's no way to know, when you're playing the game blind, you don't realize that your conversations are feeding into one morality or the other, right? I didn't even start to pick up on the fact that Jonathan and Walter were opposed, and it was about,
What should we do, Master?
the status quo versus revolution. That doesn't become clear even until, a little more than halfway through the game. And I guess by that point, you probably already made enough choices that you're locked into one ending or the other. Yeah. I absolutely detest this game's the way it does math for the alignment system. I like the alignment concept a lot. I think the idea of the status quo versus revolution is great, and the individual scenes are executed really well, and it makes you feel like you don't know which one is the right answer, and that's really good. But the specific way they do the math and they conceal all the numbers from you, I think, is horrible.
Do not flatter yourself.
It's definitely not designed for someone to experience blind. Okay, I don't even know if this is where I'm supposed to be. I think this goes to the reactor.
Do not flatter yourself.
Google it here in a second. Yeah, right. We were talking last week about how this game has a neutral ending that's effectively walkthrough bait. That if you actually make all of the decisions exactly down the middle, because of the final choice not having a neutral option, you're forced into one or the other. So the only way to get the neutral ending is to, like, know what the point values are for each of the choices they prompt you with.
This is the Ginza terminal.
I just don't think concealing that information makes anything more interesting, right? Well, didn't we say that neutral is like a point value of like -8 to +8 or something, and that law and chaos are like -9 to -100 or +9 to +100? It seems impossible to get that. Just, I'd be curious what number of players have ever seen the neutral ending just through natural play and not like Googling how it works and figuring out which dialogue options to pick. I imagine it's a vanishingly small number.
Burrows.
I also feel like the existence of a neutral ending feels contrary to the philosophy of the game. I feel like the philosophy is that, you know, it's either the status quo or revolution, and they both suck, and you're gonna have to pick one. Sucks to be you, right? It doesn't involve doing any like side quests or anything like that. Okay, so I think where I need to go is north of here.
Hello.
I'm detecting a demon's domain.
I assume since it's the hardest to get and has the most content, probably. I see. And like we said, that's just like a weird coincidence that if you select all of those default options, you'll get neutral.
Halt!
Oh, hey.
We meet again. It's just as Walter said. You intend to annihilate Tokyo through the use of the Yamato reactor, no?
I don't really want
Maybe
to,
for the
but
sake of the
I have
people
to,
of the
apparently.
Eastern Kingdom of Mikado,
Like I said last week, I think
tantamount to
that
genocide.
I don't like when games like Mass Effect 3 just have a single decision at the end of the game that puts you into one of 3 endings, but I wish that was how this one works, because it feels really weird to like make this impactful decision at the end and have the characters say to you, sorry, you don't have enough alignment points to do that. We're going to do the other one.
I could not make my decision until the very end. Nevertheless, I abhor the idea of you doing something so horrible.
I think
as
it'd be fine if there were
annihilating
secret alignment points behind the scenes that
I'm quite serious
affected
about
like
this.
demon fusion or something, I don't know.
This is a solemn bout between samurai. There is no need to treat me with kid gloves. We begin.
Okay. Oh my god, I have to fight 4 of them? Oh, that's cool that Jonathan gets replaced with Merkaba. Enemy gets to go first. Cool. Also sick. I'm actually going to cast that with Flynn because it's cheapest. No idea what their weaknesses are, but I'm sure I can get away with Megidola. Nice. She have Makara Karn? She does. I don't know if I actually need to cast both. I guess Amrita doesn't apply to sick. Whoops. Yeah, I learned.
Fall to the abyss.
There is something I must know from you. What you are about to do is an act of genocide upon the people of Tokyo.
Yeah, it's bad.
Do you truly believe that such an act will be forgiven?
I don't like any of these. So does she fight you in the other playthrough, in the Chaos ending too?
It must be this way? I never thought that I would hear such pessimism from you. You disappoint me!
Oh, okay. Whoops. I guess they didn't give me the option to just ignore her like I usually get.
Do not flatter yourself.
Merkabah's really boring. It just does like a normal physical attack every round. It's probably time to swap. I know they're using light here. Makes sense.
As I thought, you are a hard foe. I thought that I had grown as well. But it seems that in this, too, you have surpassed me. I wish that I could have remained at your side forever. But I will end this here. I hope that you are prepared.
Probably don't need to be casting Makara Karn every time, but I don't know if occasionally they'll change it up and use magic.
Such is the power of light.
Nice try. Oh, you made her smirk. Thanks, Jonathan. At least she burned it there. Don't do anything.
You should already have come to your decision. All that remains is for one of us to fall.
Fall to the abyss.
Hopefully I don't miss here.
Move. I must.
Sorry, Isabeau.
I will not let your hands be stained. At least.
How much longer is the neutral ending? Is it like several hours? Is it just like an extra dungeon? Cuts her own throat. Good for her. You end up doing both in the neutral ending, I see.
Very well.
High gun pleroma. That's okay.
We must never forget this woman. If Tokyo is left untouched, there will be many more victims like her. Now let us go, chosen warrior of light. We will excise Tokyo, the root of the filth, with our own hands.
That seems bad. I'm gonna have to like resummon everybody. Well, let me see if it gives me a heal here. It's recovering MP, just in case.
Burrows.
All getting it back, right? The one character that's not topped off just has a ton of MP to regenerate, so. And then the Warrior of Light ran in circles before committing genocide. He's almost there. You have to do a bunch of side quests? Oh god. So maybe it being hard to get neutral without a walkthrough is intentional? But it has to be intentional. It's so strange to me. Does this game save transfer to SMT4A at all?
This is pitiful next to the Lord's fearsome power. It is nothing but a shallow joke of Lucifer's.
Okay.
Does he think he can keep me at bay with such petty tricks? The Lord's chariot does not retreat. Those who bar the way shall be trampled underfoot.
I'd be interested in doing 4A. It sounds like 4A improves on this one a lot and also clarifies the lore a bit. I like the lore of this game. There's stuff in this game that I actually really like and think is smart. Most of what frustrates me about it are just like weird math decisions. And I hear where time axis is coming from, that like it's because you're supposed to play it on the train every day for the next 3 years, and it's like a platform, but... You break free by like looking up how to do that. Yeah, I guess I'd be interested to see like if everything turns out okay in the neutral ending, or if the neutral ending also kind of sucks. I feel like everything sucks is like a theme of the game.
Fall to the abyss.
I think if the game were arranged in such a way, I guess, first of all, there's no way to know that a neutral option exists on your first playthrough. Because they're, like, the value is not being conveyed to you in any way. So the only way to know that is to look on game FAQs or something. But then there's all these like little choices throughout the game that apparently nudge your alignment one way or the other. Spiky was saying there's a side quest you can do that uses like some vague text to hint at what your alignment currently is-ish, and you can like repeatedly load and do that over and over with choices to kind of get a beat on what your actual numerical alignment is, but definitely not intended to be done that way. Oh, does every SMT game have a neutral ending? I don't know if there's like a trick to which doors I go in here or something. Looks like a different room. As I didn't get back attacked. Maxed out on both of those. Where do you actually want me to go, game? Go back in the door I came from repeatedly? No.
Fall to the abyss.
I think it's very possible to do a game that's about there being unintended or unforeseen consequences to your choices. I think the problem is that this game gives you the equivalent of the red, blue, or green ending choice from Mass Effect 3, but then basically ignores it, or it's only a small mathematical factor in determining your final score. I think they should just drop that final choice so you don't have that bad experience of saying, I want option B, and them going, well, sorry, you're going to do option A.
Your spirit is utterly worthless.
Either drop that or drop all the math before that point, right? But I think the two together are like incompatible.
You are no longer
Lucifuge.
counted among the living. You are but a puppet dancing on authority's strings. You cannot create an ideal world while a thing like you walks the earth. As one of Lord Lucifer's generals, I will dispose of you.
Cool book animation.
Fall to the abyss.
I didn't need Tetrakarn for that, but that's okay. Go ahead and not try to throw the book at me. Let's just play it safe. I mean, I can try to do elements, but maybe Jonathan will reveal the element for me.
Such is the power of light.
Nice. Right, it's not clear. And I see, like, I like that part of the game. I like that you don't really know what's going on. You're left to, like, speculate, like, what's this game about, right? And I like that you find out what it's about at around a little bit past the halfway point. That's cool. But that's incompatible with there being a bunch of, until that point, arbitrary choices before then, right? I guess it's great if you're playing it for the second time and on your second playthrough you're like, oh, that decision which I previously thought was arbitrary actually puts me deeper on the Walter path or whatever, right? Like, I think that's the original sin, is that all of it only makes sense if you are definitely going to play this game at least 3 times, right?
Reclaim what is rightfully ours.
And I think I'm turned off by that because of my stream format, but even just in general, I think that it's harder to do the platform / only game for Christmas model anymore, since it's so easy to get lots and lots of games and get them on sale for a couple bucks or $5 or whatever, right? Hey, more Medea Rahan. I feel like I need to have somebody that has a gun attack. Guess I can drop. Oh. Is that slightly cheaper? That was the bulk of the discussion last week. Ravenon pitched it smartly as a category of game. I've been talking about it a lot throughout the playthrough, but a category of game is this is the only game you got for Christmas, or I think like a game that's supposed to be a platform that you play on, like Destiny or Path of Exile, where like the math of the game is assuming that this is the only game you have time to play. And so it like warps the design in ways that I think aren't great.
Fall to the abyss.
When the game isn't assumed to be something that you play through and enjoy one time, but something that you're like sinking hundreds of hours into. Ow. Cool. Don't think I have any use for app points anymore. I'll take the luck incense. Yeah, I was describing it before as like, once developers have settled on that's the format they want their game to take, it warps all of their decisions after that point. It corrupts the flow of the game from that point forward.
Who has relinquished your very consciousness to God? What do you think has allowed you humans to progress and evolve so far? It was thanks to our existence. A human's true strength is only drawn out by the adversity of chaos. God's order will bring you nothing but degradation and loneliness.
This one is truly nothing but filth. It is beyond salvation.
I will prove my point with a battle to the death.
I was in the middle of talking about this when we had the stream disruption last week, so I lost my stream of consciousness on it, but
and gifted humanity with countless ordeals. You are the latest to receive my ordeal.
I think I described there as being 3 different things going on with platform games or only game for Christmas games. Like, one of them is that they're explicitly trying to exploit the player. That they have like actual predatory game mechanics like battle passes or whatever, right? And not every game that is an only game for Christmas game or a platform game has explicitly predatory elements. I don't think this one really does. I guess maybe the grinding DLCs are kind of like that, but they're not that expensive, so it does kind of have the quality of like, hey, we made our game bad and we're going to sell you the solution, kind of like the Disney World Fast Pass. Hey, Fast Pass is a nightmare. We're going to sell you the ability for Fast Pass to be less terrible, right? But there was one was like deliberately exploitative and predatory, and I'm trying to remember the other 2. I think one was like the desire to have the game be longer so that people can get more enjoyment out of it, and accomplishing that by reusing content, which isn't always rotten to the core. There's a lot of games where I think that they do an absolutely incredible job of reusing content. Elden Ring is one of them. Like, that game wouldn't be its size or scope if it wasn't very good at repurposing stuff. And then I guess there's the third dimension, are the games that stretch out how much enjoyment you can get out of them by expecting you to play through them 2, 3, 4, 5 times or whatever. They're built around the expectation of New Game Plus. So I think I dislike games that are built around New Game Plus, but I guess I get it as someone who used to do a lot of that when I was a younger gamer and I had fewer games. I don't think that games that are built around I guess I didn't need to concentrate there. I don't think games that are built around repeat content are necessarily bad. It depends on how the content is reused, right? There are smart ways to do that and janky ways to do that. I love how Jonathan just gives smirks to bosses now. It's great.
That's it. Good. You have overcome me and will only grow stronger. That's right. This is God's paradox. Glory be to chaos.
Atmosphere changed. They're running circles again to refill everyone's MP, probably.
Burrows.
Don't think it works for people out of my party, so I'll have to switch them, I guess. God damn it. At least Flynn has the resistance. Yeah, I buy it. I don't think Shin Megami Tensei is like a rotten franchise or something, or I don't hate everything about it. In fact, there's things about it I really, really like. I liked Digital Devil Saga a lot. It was a little grindy and the dungeons dragged on a bit long, I thought, but other than that, it was a pretty solid game. It's not like irredeemable in my eyes. Just has a lot of decisions that are baffling to me.
Fall to the abyss.
I like the idea of a like oppressive, difficult game that's deliberately unfair, but like I was saying, you know, that works for me better in like a Souls game or a Gloomhaven or whatever, where like the oppressive, deliberately unfair element isn't as simple as, oh, okay, don't cast fire on that guy, and I guess cast reflect attack. That's the only lesson that can be learned from combat. And the penalty for not knowing that on your first attempt against a fight is to just die and try again. It's dull. I did, yeah.
Fall to the abyss.
Well, MP walk doesn't help me in boss fights, right? I've only really been using them in boss fights.
Burrows.
Hit him because he was resistant to both light and dark. So do I have anyone else with big pool of MP? It's not already in my party. But my point wasn't to say, oh, I think the Karn spells are overpowered. My point was to say that, like, the feeling of losing a fight is learning I should cast a Karn spell or I should not use fire, right? It's like a simple binary, do this, don't do this, right? It's not like, oh, next time I should try to conserve my resources better. Or next time I know that there's 6 kobolds in this room, so I can try to like prepare my abilities to target them more appropriately. It's just do use ice, don't use ice, do use attack mirror, don't use attack mirror. It's the kind of thing that like could be accomplished by the game having more perfect information. Like if the intent is that I'm just going to go into the fight and die instantly and then reload and know what I'm supposed to do, can you just give me the short circuit and let the scan tell me that stuff ahead of time, you know? Megidola spam works because I have MP walk, which means I recover enough MP between battles to be able to constantly cast it when it's supposed to have the downside of being too expensive to be worth it. And I only have MP Walk because I got the DLC that lets me get more app points because the app is impossible to navigate. Or there are a lot of extremely trivial, horrific mistakes you can make in the app point system by spending your points on apps that are completely useless versus apps that like completely warp your gameplay and make you more effective. And so the DLC that lets you get more app points is simultaneously a stream-friendly thing, right? Because I'm not going to play this game for 300 hours to beat it. I'm going to try to play it and get to the end. But it also like breaks the game. It's like a Game Genie code. So is the Maka DLC, right? I kind of need the Maka DLC because I can't get cash since cash is based on the passage of real time and I'm not like playing it on the train every week. No, I asked for it. I would take it anyway. I'm fine with having MP Walk. It's just I feel like I'm in this horrible limbo where I didn't play the game right. Right? Like the devs simultaneously wanted me to pick up the DLC and didn't. It is both the right way to play and the wrong way to play. If I'm going to do this, I may as well just like, you know, mod cheats into other games I'm playing. Because it corrupts my opinion of the rest of it. I hate it. This game has an airship. Shit. I realize that's where I came from. I'm a super late game side quest? I thought you were kidding. That's funny. To let you get around the world map more easily?
I'm detecting a strong demon ahead. Do you want to go on?
No, let me save first. Yeah, at that point it doesn't matter because you've already done all the side quests. That's crazy.
Wait! Don't move another inch. I'm just in time, I see. My finely honed intuition told me that you were approaching a terminal. Sorry, but you won't be escaping this domain. If you want to use this place, then you gotta get by me. And I won't make it easy on you.
Just straight up a terminal?
This time, I've got a real handsome crew for my demons. And they're not just pretty faces either. You'll see that they've got the skills to back it up. Get fooled by these boys' looks, and they won't let you off with just a few bruises.
You guys are nastier than I was expecting.
Fall to the abyss.
I don't see it going this way the next time. You remember that.
Okay.
Activating scan mode.
This is the final
This
touch.
seems to be a type of terminal too. The activation program ran normally, anyway. This is the Lucifer Palace terminal. A link with other terminals is established now. You can travel to them from here.
Do I like ride the train?
Looks like the quest is going. This is the Lucifer
Did I miss
Palace.
a terminal somewhere? This game is basically like a dissonance generator for me. Like There are so many things in it that make me feel two ways simultaneously. It's the video game version of the Larry David gif. Where he looks uncertain.
Fall to the abyss.
Central to my enjoyment of almost all video games is the feeling that I'm experiencing an intended art experience that was crafted by the creator. And so there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, really? This is what was intended to happen? Because that feels like incorrect or bad. And other times where I simultaneously feel like I am doing what's intended and breaking the game's design, right? Video games were a mistake. 8 super bosses have a 1 in 256 chance to spawn when you enter the area that contains them. Yeah, video games were a mistake indeed. Stuff like that. It's just like, what informs that decision, right? It's similar to like the Zodiac Spear in Final Fantasy XII. Like, why is this like this?
Very well.
And maybe it's like, oh, we're trying to create this experience where like everybody's playing this game on the train and somebody randomly runs into that super boss and then they like tell all their friends about it at work or on the playground or whatever, right? Like, and it's not really intended to be dumb bullshit that sells strategy guides. It's just inscrutable and bizarre for the sake of being inscrutable and bizarre, I guess. I don't know. That's the only pitch I can come up with for why you would have a mechanic like that, because it's like it often feels like it's a disconnect between the developer's idea and them actually like thinking about now what would it actually mean for the player to have to do this, right? Like they might think, oh, let's make all these arbitrary chests that if you open them it'll stop the Zodiac Spear from spawning at the end of the game. And then they don't consider, like, well, what does that actually mean for a player, right? Well, it means that no one is ever going to find our Zodiac Spear unless if they buy the strategy guide, you know? Is it cosplay enthusiast? That's funny. It's deep art. There have been times where I feel like I'm complaining about the game and I'm complaining about the thing that is the art, and that stresses me out. Like, have this like strong Principal Skinner. Am I the one who's wrong? I get that with Persona a lot, but like me being annoyed at not having control over the morality system could be the art. It could be we're intentionally showing you that you don't have power here, right? That's fine. I think that's cool. But I don't think that's intentional. I think that's an accident. Oh boy. Don't know if I saved recently. I guess I can use play coins. Actually using Makarakarn and Tetrakarn in a random battle. I love how Merkabah won't use that like party-wide instant death light ability anymore. Yeah, okay.
Not bad.
Glacial Blast, so that seems bad. Karakarn, I need to take that back. Spring of Life is so bad. If the boss will freaking use it.
abyss.
Save again. Well. See if I can remember now that the map is revealed.
Burrows.
The minigame playing such a huge role in how combat goes for you is another one of those things. It's like, it makes sense as a nice iteration of the way it used to be, which was worse, right? Where previously, whether or not you got back attacked was just completely random, and you could just get into a random battle that would nuke you immediately. So having some control over that by letting you get away from the random battle if you preemptive strike correctly is a good decision, right?
Fall to the abyss.
But as this being my first Shin Megami Tensei game, I'm just like, this seems way more important than any choices I make in the first round of combat. Okay, so we go down this time. Morningstar Hall. Okay, this is Lucifer's long hallway. Gotcha. I love the energy of them giving you an item that's worth a bunch of Maka right before the final, what is presumably the final boss tour. But you then have to run all the way back to the terminal to sell.
I'm detecting a strong
Just put the
demon ahead.
Maka in there.
Do
If
you
I
wanna
wanted
go
to do
on?
a final fusion, I could do it. This game occasionally just gives you raw Maka, I guess.
So you have come thus far. Know this, assemblage of God's puppets, and the pitiful son of man whom he has led astray. I am the demon lord Lucifer.
Looks cool.
The humiliating slander of being called evil for flouting God's will and subsequent banishment shall be repaid. For the dignity of we who live in chaos and the free will of humanity, I will not give this world over to order. I am the radiant morning star, sons of man. I am the true flame of life, in all the glory of flesh, blood, and my own will. So come, ye lifeless puppets of God. I shall snuff out your ostentatious flights.
Cool.
Do not flatter yourself.
Alright, what do you do, bud? Almighty? And a bad status effect, okay. Which I have no immunity to. And a physical attack. Let's hope he doesn't do magic, I guess.
Such is the power of light.
Okay. Concentrate. Concentrate lasts until I use it, right? So even if I lose turns due to a status effect, I'll get a chance to do it eventually.
Fall to the abyss.
Okay. So Makara Karn is needed. I'd be curious, Can anyone look up if that final chest outside Lucifer's room always contains a gold death mask? That would make it less bad if that is the case.
Such is the power of light.
So do you, like, fight Merkaba with Lucifer in your party if you go the other route? All the chests are fixed.
I put it to you, who have defeated countless demons.
Challenge I? Challenge me.
Lord. For whom are you fighting this relentless, dreadful battle?
Never reply to people. It's never worth it.
You lack even this much resolve. The dust at my feet has more worth than you, sorry lot. You are a puppet unworthy even of the title of fool. I shall break you and cast your bones to the earth.
Its immense murderous intent is overpowering. Well, that's bad. Oh, fuck. So I have one person who's immune to that. Use myriad arrows first next time, bud. Fucking hell. Well, that's okay. That's what I would have cast anyway.
Fall to the abyss.
Because of his all stat increase that got me in trouble there, I guess. Sweet.
Do not flatter yourself.
Rad. I don't know if I'm gonna have to leave and go do the Maka DLC to be able to get the equipment that makes me immune to. What's the status effect that he's putting on me that makes me unable to act?
Beyond the it is where the soul of the Maka open. You can pay me in play coin. Very well. I'll need this many.
Burroughs.
Yes. Is it Panic? Who else has Null Mind, I guess? Gun. Yeah, I just want to see their statuses. Stop it. Well, looks like I didn't hold on to a bunch of null mines, sadly. Try to summon people with it or fuse her into things and then resummon her repeatedly, but I don't have a lot of Maka. I can only like afford to do one fusion. I don't think I have the equipment for it. Heal MP, force. Yeah, I guess I'll just go again and hope it doesn't happen in a way that screws me. I think I might be able to recover. If he does it twice in a row, that's pretty bad, though.
I'm detecting a strong...
Well, she just has the normal, I'm detecting a strong demon line there. It's like literally Satan. Yeah, only I can defend status quo. Great. What I always wanted.
Such is the power of light.
Wondering if I just lost because of the dialogue option that I selected there. Oh, good job.
Do not flatter yourself.
What, in this universe, Satan and Lucifer aren't the same entity? Okay. Just ways to concentrate. That's actually fine. He's really using that a lot now, instead of opening with the thing that actually causes a reflection. I think she always needs to top off with that now.
Do not flatter yourself.
I put it to you. You have defeated countless demons and would challenge I, the Demon Lord. For whom are you fighting this relentless, dreadful battle?
Dude, I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are either a pitiable puppet or a staunch samurai to so doggedly love and trust your god. But that is undoubtedly a source of power all the same. Else you could not stand before me now. Very well. Let it be decided here whose power is right.
Oh, good. Okay. Not the worst thing he could have done. If I lose a couple more times, I'll go leave all the way out of this dungeon and try to buy the accessory that grants me immunity to this status effect. That's basically locked behind the DLC too, right? Because there's no way you'd ever get enough Maka to get there and buy the item you need. Well, finally, he canceled his turn right away that time.
Do not flatter yourself.
What's happening? Hey dude, your arm doesn't look too great. Oh, Satan is the antagonist? Okay. The Job Satan, not the biblical fan fiction Paradise Lost Satan. Gotcha. That looks normal. That reset my doping. Game is mean. Probably reset all of his stat debuffs too.
Fall to the abyss.
Oh, is this what Walter looks like? Well, that's an annoying attack. I guess I was gonna swap him out anyway soon. We don't have any dark spells, dude.
Such is the power of light.
Good job. Oh, a little egg thing is Walter? Oh, that's fun. Level 99, huh?
Fall to the abyss.
Ouch. If he does that 3 times, it's just game over for me. Oh, cool. Video games. Good use of your turn there, Flynn. At least he has inherent physical reflect.
That you would match me thus far. Little wonder that you led Merkaba, the chariot of God. But you who have been tamed by order have fallen from the
I feel like the best way to go is to just keep focusing on defense here. I didn't even try to attack him. Hey, Charles. Just gonna pick one arbitrarily. Just remember which one I picked too. Whatever. Like, that seemed like what I did last time when I gave him an ellipsis, but...
Interesting. I see now why you are a warrior of light, capable of facing me at the fulcrum of the Absolute.
Holy Spirit is burning from within Flynn. Okay. Oh, I got an extra action. Well, that's neat. I needed to summon somebody here. I have a bunch of these, right? Now that's just res, it's not summon, right? She has the status effect immunity. I'm gonna have to start giving her MP back so she can save me when I get evil shined. Thank you. Keep doing that. Swap out Throne and Cherub here soon. Okay, I do have summon stones. I'll remember that for next time. Soma drop. Fully heals MP. Over all allies, yes. Hey Leon, it's going. How you doing?
Such is the power of light.
Oh, she's gonna die in 2 now without doping. Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to dope here. I'll see if Flynn can act or not. Hooray.
Do not flatter yourself.
Oh, the RNG is like so crazy in this fight. If he does 3 evil shines, I'm basically screwed. If he attacks immediately, I get my whole turn for free, basically. I'm fighting Lucifer. We're gonna commit genocide against Tokyo.
Such is the power of light.
Well, I would have liked to have been fighting God, but the game railroaded me into this morality path.
Fall to the abyss.
Impossible that you should possess such strength. Am I to fall once again before the power of God that is so humiliating?
Did it really win via Merkaba hitting him for 150 HP? He's got to still be alive, right?
Victory is nigh. Now is the time to burn the life given by our Lord. The evil morning star must be struck down into the depths of the earth.
I will not fall.
Oh, he's okay.
I will not fall until life blooms in a universe where knowledge and the seeds of oneself have sprouted.
We will not allow this universe to be infested with such vile mockeries.
Let's do that once, please. All right, now if none of them go, okay, they at least went. Please let Flynn act here. Fuck.
Do not flatter yourself.
Shit. Do I game over if Merkaba dies? I would feel like that would be on brand for this game. Cherub is staring into space. I need to get her health up somehow. Thank you, Throne.
Fall to the abyss.
Not the worst thing you could have done. Kingly one. Wars. Staring into space. Oh, that was my last turn. I didn't. Shit, that might be a huge mistake. Yeah. Should have done Meteor Rama, but I thought I still had one more action. At least he wasn't staring into space there.
Fall to the abyss.
Physically attack Flynn, please. Okay, that's an interesting choice. That's also fine.
Do not flatter yourself.
Thank you to Tetrakarn. Save my bacon there.
Fall to the abyss.
Don't you do it twice, you motherfucker. Oh my god.
Do not flatter yourself.
Oh, I thought that was worth a half turn. Okay. I guess summoning is, but using items is not. Oh, that's good. Maybe I can actually catch up here. Who has a shitload of HP? Okay. Doesn't have a lot of MP, but...
Fall to the abyss.
Thank you. I don't want to waste that smirk. Is that enough? Oh, good. That fight kept feeling like it was like one unlucky turn away from ending very badly without being interactive.
What an easy win!
If you've beaten me,
Oh, that's cool.
then that means you are the stronger man.
I like a lot about the chaos ideology. I don't like the might makes right stuff though, but
You were in
I think
the
they're
right.
implying that in the absence of order, the only thing that can create value or whatever is might makes right. But I like that I can't just like easily say, oh yeah, Walter's the right guy. No question. Always fun getting XP from the final battle. The way to do that fight is to make sure everyone has the null panic ability, and also you have the accessory for Flynn so that he has it too. That's fine, actually. I'm gonna use her though.
We have vanquished Lucifer at last. It is victory forged by we two. Nothing remains to hinder our steps.
This might be a little early, but congratulations on completing the quest.
Even after the final boss. Amazing.
Look.
Use the remote again.
With this, all this world's filth will be cleansed. It is time for the Great Abaddon to swallow Tokyo. And we are no exception. We too have brushed against filth and been spattered with their blood.
Oh, good. It's a fittingly dark ending.
I trust you take my meaning.
Graphics. A man got killed by, like, Adobe After Effects. Hooray!
The day will never come that he looks upon the world he has saved. Which is why this is small comfort. Though it is not much, I shall show you the future of the world he chose.
Appreciate that. Talking to me, Jonathan?
In years to come, it will be known as a Holy Land. And though he will not be present in person, he will live on there as a great hero.
The satisfaction after playing this for years on
as
the train.
Messiah who returned peace to this world. The voices of the people cultivating the land, raising children, and finding joy in their families. They will echo through the eastern kingdom of Mikado today and into tomorrow.
Everything's fine. This is the law ending. Thus was a world created where all that is evil is ousted. Populated only with the innocent. Everything was fine. Yeah, so this game was interesting. It made me feel feelings, which means it succeeded as art. I struggle sometimes when video games are doing something on purpose that's supposed to make me uncomfortable or unhappy or feel like I don't have control or feel like I can't plan. And I feel like the game doesn't do an adequate job of conveying that, oh, we know that that sucks and we did it that way on purpose, right? Like, I know I keep coming back to Dark Souls, but Dark Souls does such a wonderful job of constantly winking at the player and saying, we know that was bullshit, right? Like, you laugh when you walk into a room and two little gremlin things come to life and stab you in the back. It's funny, like, but something about the way JRPGs are laid out blurs the lines in some way that makes it hard for me to tell that this feels bad because the developer wants me to have a bad experience, like you might get from an uncomfortable movie, right? Or this is bad because they just didn't know what they were doing, or this is bad because they just chose this arbitrarily, or this feels bad because this is intended to be the only game you get for Christmas, and so it's been artificially stretched, right? And I don't know, doing this for 8 years and playing, coming up on like 1,000 games, I've gotten pretty good at being able to eyeball what the intent is. If it's intended to feel bad, right, I can feel that, okay, this is, you know, that's the art, it's doing it on purpose. It might be a unique problem with the genre, you know, like any turn-based game that isn't Gloomhaven or Monster Sanctuary is going to have problems of intent and like a lot of arbitrary decisions and a lot of degenerate strategies and that sort of a thing. Yeah, right. I didn't completely hate it though. Like I think it had cool ideas. I think it was probably longer than it needed to be. I feel this way about Digital Devil Saga too, which I also enjoyed. That DDS was like 5 hours of dungeon followed by like 4 minutes of really interesting story, followed by 5 hours of dungeon, followed by 4 minutes of really interesting story. And this game seems like it had a similar cadence, which maybe that's just how SMT games are laid out, you know. A lot of it's intentional. Okay. Stuff like the morality system being a weird, inscrutable math system that feels like that's a mistake. At least with the way they constructed the story by having this massive uber decision towards the, you know, 80% mark. Make this uber decision and you feel like the weight of, oh my god, I'm gonna make this crazy decision, and then the characters literally say, nope, you can't do that, sorry. You were too friendly with Jonathan 30 hours ago, so fuck you. I'm glad I played it, though. It certainly has made me feel more than a lot of the JRPGs I've played that are just frustrating. Final Fantasy 13 was just frustrating and was just nonsense. And here I feel like at least the team making it like believed in something and had like a philosophy and had a story they wanted to tell and an ideology that they wanted to express through art. And whether or not they did the best job of conveying that to me is, I guess, still on the table, but you agreed with his choice of pizza topping. Plus 50 law points, yeah. Okay, so the reason the app system is so stupid is because your app points carry over between New Game Plus. Okay. So you're only ever going to get enough app points to unlock all the shit because you carried it over from a prior save. So just put this on a different save, I guess. Clear data. Yeah, anyway, I talked about it a lot during the playthrough, but it wasn't the worst. I liked it better than any of the Persona games I've played so far. I think I prefer Digital Devil Saga a little bit, but it's still kind of baffling to me in a way that's a little bit more tolerable than like Final Fantasy. Well, it's 100 times better than Final Fantasy 13, but that's not really saying very much. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I would be interested in playing more SMT games. Don't take my like reaction to this as a condemnation of the series and an unwillingness to check out the rest of it. I've heard that 4A is better than this and 5 is better than this, so that makes me want to play both of them. That sounds great. And Nocturne is maybe harder than this, but maybe more obvious in the fact that it's being mean and not just being poorly planned out. So if you want to add those to the voting spreadsheet or to Subblock or something, I'd be down to check them out.